The Mets are flying high as the NLCS heads to Chicago for a crucial Game 3. Next, the 2015 NLCS coverage on TBS is presented by Exxon and Mobil.
This is Turner Sports.
If good things come to those who wait, the city of Chicago and their beloved Cubs are due a world of riches. Their quest to collect on a century of debt has brought them home to Wrigley Field and the fans that bolstered their belief. And while Chicago may want to forget their weekend at Citi Field, they must have two takeaways from those losses. Curtis Granderson is stepping up.
There goes Granderson. Every night he does something.
And Daniel Murphy is dialed in.
Daniel Murphy has struck again.
Over 2 blustery nights, the inhospitable masked Mets did their best to rob the Cubs of their will to win.
Granderson timed it perfectly.
But the venue has shifted, and so too may the fate of a famished franchise.
Let's get back to Wrigley. I really believe strongly that we'll be able to rebound from this.
Now the city of Chicago looks to Kyle Hendricks for hope and help containing the Mets bats. New York sends their ace, steely-eyed slayer Jacob deGrom, trying his best to silence the noise. Game 3 of the NLCS is next.
After Game 2's loss, Joe Madden had the Rockies soundtrack blasting in his office, a symbol of a fight that had only just begun, and a team with a championship spirit. Now, a city looking for the same brings it as we bring the National League Championship Series coverage to Wrigleyville. And as you can imagine, the fans are fired up. You might not imagine the weather a lot warmer and nicer than we had in New York, from houses divided to those young and old who still believe down 0-2 there's much baseball to be played in October and into November for the Chicago Cubs. Obviously, Bill Murray, one of those who hopes that's the case. He, John Cusack, and others will try and bring some celebrity to a house that will have plenty of atmosphere and should be something historic and a sight to see here over these next few hours. Again, the weather not a factor at all whatsoever for now. 69 degrees, it feels like 107 based on where we just were the last couple of days. No wind whatsoever to speak of as of yet. Late showers possible, but my meteorologists here on set say, at least they're told, not for a while, as we welcome you inside our studio here at Wrigley. MLB on TBS pregame coverage presented by Chrysler. Casey Stern alongside the Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez and Gary Sheffield, who's got a street named after him here, and Dusty Baker. Dusty, I'll start with you. Last time we saw the Cubs here, you were with them back 12 years ago. When you came in and talked to fans, how cool was it to see this city winning again?
Well, it was real cool. It was cool to get in a cab. All they were talking about is, hey, man, I'm into my Cubs. And talk to all the people around. A lot of people are still here when I was here. And they are ready for a victory tonight. They are ready for, another game.
You look at from Ernie Banks and you think about some of the greats here, and the tradition is wonderful. And I know, Chef, for you, a guy who played in a number of places and in all the different stadiums, this was your favorite place to come to. Why?
Yeah, this is my favorite stadium. Just going into an old stadium with the ivory on the wall, it reminds me of being in like Yankee Stadium. You get that feel of this way the great players play, and just knowing that the fans are always excited in the outfield, and just having that whole atmosphere. When they open this park up and start playing night games, you really got the feel of baseball here.
You know, Pedro, covering it myself in 04 and seeing the atmosphere in that city in Boston that you and I both love, playing in that atmosphere and seeing that team and that crowd that had started for so long to win, does it remind you a little bit when you walk around today and see kind of the feeling around this park and how much they're hoping that maybe this is the run for them?
Well, I'm hoping that they finally get it, because I tell you, when I saw what happened in Boston, I mean, it couldn't happen in a better place. And if there's going to happen in a better place, it's got to be Chicago. This is a unique place, just like Boston, unique field. I have my first experience of being here in this field and having the opportunity to actually step in the stands and see the field down and see the players. And it's just like Fenway. That probably because we have the two oldest stadiums in those two, but they give you a unique look at the game, at the players, and at the whole field. It's very attractive. It's exciting, and I'm excited just like the fans are here.
You know, you're speaking of a unique look. That's what we've gotten out of the Mets staff. And a big story, guys, for the first couple of games, we've talked about this a lot, is the velocity. Well, now take a look at it kind of in print, if you will. Through 2 games in this series, 115 pitches have been thrown, 95 plus by Mets starters. Guys, only 8 total pitches thrown, 95 plus by the Cubs starters. So clearly, it's been an issue, and DeGrom's not going to be throwing much slower. How about that imprint so far in this series, Chef?
Well, it makes it seem like men playing with boys. I mean, when you got that kind of velocity, these guys, when you get that ball above the belt line, it's hard to hit. And when they get their secondary pitches going, you already know what kind of game it's going to be. You're going to see these guys in the game in the 7th and the late innings of the 8th inning and giving that ball to their closers.
Dusty, when you look at what we've seen from the Met pitchers, how much does that as a hitter get in your head, especially when now the 3rd time around with DeGrom, we're going to see some more heat with that fastball?
Well, hey, man, you're not much of a hitter if it gets in your head. It ain't getting in my head. But see, the thing about it is, you got to rise to the challenge, because it's a challenge to hit these guys. But like Sheffield said, it's their secondary pitches. They get you so aware of the fastball that you end up swinging at some bad pitches in the dirt, or taking good breaking balls that you ordinarily would hit because you got the fastball on your mind.
You know, that's important to bring up, because we're going to see breaking balls. The changeup we'll get into in a bit. DeGrom also likes to throw the change. Pedro, you came in here, you felt the ball, start throwing it up and saying, this is not what you want. Break down why you do that and what it told you when you came in here to the park today.
Well, I couldn't help it. As soon as I saw the ball, I went and grabbed it. But I also know the way I want to feel a ball when I grab it. And the first thing I felt is not exactly what these 2 pitchers need. Going for them was a little bit of a dry air. It will make the ball slip out of your fingers. So you're gonna have to find a way to keep the ball in your hands moisture and find a grip for this for the ball tonight.
How do you propose you're gonna do that? Excuse me.
Well, Pedro he know how.
I'm trying to figure out where you're gonna get some moisture.
You're gonna look for the rosin bag first, put it on your hand, and then you're gonna look for the stickers.
And then what?
Then you're gonna probably get it out off of my bat. You will look for my bat because I put a lot of pine tar on that bat. You'll find some
Every
kind of
once
way.
in a while, I will pass it back to you.
You will find some kind of way.
Okay, now what about the Jerry curl?
Yeah, what about in
You
here?
put it on your Jerry curl.
Well, you can always go here if it's a little dry.
That's illegal.
And you can go to the forehead, but if you have Jerry curls like the Grum, you might take it a little further and go, whoa, and then come back to the ball. You never know.
There he is, letting his soul glow right there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, look at that. He just went to the Jerry curl.
When I run into trouble, I have to go a little bit and then come back.
What happened when you put too much on it?
Oh, ball will be
That look like Little Richard right there. Look at it.
It's Randy
Go ahead,
Watson.
Little Richard.
Sexy attack.
All right, it's very...
Yeah, that was a sexy one. That was a sexy one.
All right, from coming to America, we get into this, and that's coming right here into our pitching matchup. DeGrom against Hendricks, 2 very different starters. We'll talk about both. Pete, let's start with DeGrom, because the last start we saw him, not usually the same way we see his command and his stuff. He battled through it, was brilliant. What does that mean for this start tonight?
Well, for good pitchers, they show you when they're struggling what they can do. And DeGrom showed me a little extra of the things that I thought he could do. DeGrom showed me that when he was struggling, he was able to battle his way around the game and beat a pretty good team in the Dodgers. Now, this is a confidence booster for DeGrom. If I'm in his place and I saw my stuff being bad and I battle my way around a good team like the Dodgers, I'm thinking I cannot expect it to be worse than it was that day. So I'm expecting DeGrom to have a pretty good game here today.
But that outing could turn him into a great pitcher, because now he see what it's like to struggle and still win. He know he has the stuff to do it.
On the other side, Kyle Hendricks. Dusty, 0-2 as a manager. Take me through how the eyes need to look different, the urgency needs to be different. How does Joe Maddon handle the hook tonight?
Well, the main thing is you have to show a tremendous amount of confidence externally in young Hendricks. But internally, you have to know that you're going to go get him and probably have a pretty quick hook. Now, this guy has to throw the game of his life tonight, or somebody on the other side has to hit some balls out of the ballpark underground.
Yeah, 20% of his pitches, Pedro, are changeups. Nobody knows that better than you, one of the best all time. Going back to what you said with the dry air, how about specifically the change for Hendrick tonight?
Well, he needs to keep it low. I'm going to take it a little further. I'm going to say, from my own experience, that this kid needs to be almost perfect to try to hold the Mets until probably close to the 7th inning where he can get some help. Listen, he's going to have to keep that changeup low, baffle the Mets, mix in his pitches, because this kid is not overpowering. And that's what happened with the dry air. It's not the elements that he probably should have had.
But let me tell you something. When you're a change-up pitcher, that's a home run pitch, because I can go up there and I can sit on that pitch, and now I get a breaking ball behind it. I get that ball elevated and I can take it out the park.
And that's a fly ball pitch, the changeup.
Now, you know how good the weather was tonight?
Yes.
This is how good the weather was this afternoon. From frozen Dusty Baker in New York.
Look at you, Dusty.
It's a new drink in Chicago, Dusty on the beach. We're back with more MLB on TBS coverage presented by Chrysler.
You know that,
That's cool.
Chrysler continues to break new ground in fuel efficiency, quality, and innovation, which is impressive. But doing it for 90 years is reason to celebrate. And there's even more to celebrate with 0% APR for 72 months at the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration event. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus up to $1,500 total bonus cash on 2015 Chrysler vehicles.
130 yards now.
Bill's got a very tough lie here.
Looks like we have some sort of sea monster in the water hazard here.
I believe that's a kraken, Bruce.
It looks like he's going to go with the 9-iron. That may not be enough club.
Well, he's definitely going to lose a stroke on this hole.
If you're a golf commentator, you whisper. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
This golf course is electric.
This is the sound of a car engine. Hidden within is damaging surface wear, up to 75% of which happens during warm-up. But new Castrol GTX Magnatec has intelligent molecules that cling, providing an extra layer of protection from the start. New Castrol GTX Magnatec, instant protection from the moment you start.
A Belvedere martini.
Of course.
Shaken, not stirred. Excellent choice, Mr. Bond.
The MLB postseason pregame show, live from Chicago on TBS, is brought to you by Chrysler.
All right, it's a beautiful night here in Chicago. The Cubs are looking to heat up at the plate. 19 of their 27 runs in the postseason coming via the homer. They'll look to hit more. Maybe they can be hot like this gentleman over to my right was on the beach today with some of the shots that we had. There's Dusty Baker.
That's after going to the gym.
Now, is that 8-minute abs?
Oh, I was pumped up, man.
MLB on TBS's coverage, pumping you up for the game. Don't move.
Spoiler alert, on Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, Sam reveals the winner of the 2016 Nobel Peace Prize.
President Donald Trump.
Wait, no, that can't be right.
No, it's true. I got a Trump stamp and everything.
You're probably going to regret that.
Why? He didn't say something stupid, did he?
Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. This January on TBS.
Do you think if I had glasses, it could look like Bernie Sanders?
Exxon and Mobil give you energy for all life's journeys. Because where we go is who we are. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
Brisket is a cut of beef that's been smoked for at least 13 hours. Bacon is a present pigs give you when you're good. Flatbread is a shape of bread. Arby's, we have the meats.
True luxury is not just a heated leather seat or refined chrome accents. It's the places it will take you. The Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most luxurious vehicle in its class. Get 0% APR financing on the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee for well-qualified buyers, plus $500 Jeep Celebration bonus cash. The most awarded, rewarding SUV ever.
Oh my God, I'm covered in tar.
Are you kidding me?
It's just a game, it's just a game, it's just a game, it's just a game. Oh my God.
Elevator, the terrifying new game show, premieres tomorrow, 8/7 Central, only on GSN.
Ready to play?
Tired of tough scrubbing? Try Kaboom Foamtastic. It cleans all around the bathroom. The powerful foaming action sprays on glue, and when the foam turns white, you're ready to wipe. And it's so effective, it not only removes rust stains, but it'll even clean your toilet in a snap. OxyClean stain-fighting bubbles power through soap scum, hard water, calcium, and lime stains. Kaboom Foamtastic. See the clean. And try Kaboom No Drip Foam with bleach. It stays where you spray to clean mold and mildew stains.
It's gonna rain.
We continue our MLB on TBS coverage from our set here in Wrigley. The fans have all filed in. They're waiting for this moment. The introductions of the NLCS Game 3 next.
If the Dodge brothers walked into a dealership today, they'd be pretty impressed with what's become of their maverick car company. With all the power, performance, and ingenuity. But knowing them, they'd insist on serving the donuts. Get yours before their history.
Last four digits, 4098. 8.
You should use Grubhub instead. Just order your food online and I'll never get your credit card information wrong.
Thanks.
You have a lovely home.
Get the food you want from the restaurants you love. Grubhub, delivering your favorites.
A Belvedere martini.
Of course.
Shaken, not stirred. Excellent choice, Mr. Bond.
Still haven't tried FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues? Over 1 million fans have already won money. Choose a league. They start at $1. Pick your team. Done. Winners get paid the next day and there's no season-long commitment. FanDuel pays out $75 million a week. Get off the sidelines and get some. Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Love it or your money back. Guaranteed. Go to FanDuel.com, enter promo code PUNTER. That's PUNTER.
Hey, you know what time it is? Postseason time. That means time to get your favorite team's gear at MLB.com shop.
Official jerseys, hats, t-shirts, we got them. Official bats and balls, check. Real deal postseason memorabilia, you know it. What do you want? Stuff for him, stuff for her, stuff for the kids. We got it. Get your piece of the postseason right here at MLB.com shop and get shopping.
MLB postseason pregame show, live from Chicago on TBS, is brought to you by Chrysler.
All right, welcome back to our MLB on TBS coverage of the pregame show presented by Chrysler. We bring you inside Wrigley Field for the introductions of your Chicago Cubs for Game 3 and PA announcer Andrew Bellison.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the visiting New York Mets, managed by number 10, Terry Collins. Leading off for the Mets and playing right field, number 3, Curtis Granderson. Hitting second at third base, number 5, David Wright. Batting third and playing second base, number 28, Daniel Murphy. Hitting cleanup in center field, number 52, Yoenis Cespedes. Batting fifth, first baseman, number 21, Lucas Duda. Catching and hitting sixth for the Mets, number 7, Travis d'Arnaud. Batting seventh, number 30, the left fielder, Michael Conforto. Hitting eighth and shortstop, number 4, Wilmer Flores. Pitching and batting ninth for New York, right-hander, number 48, Jacob deGrom. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Chicago Cubs. First, the manager, number 70, Joe Maddon. Leading off in center field, number 24, Dexter Fowler. Hitting second in left field, number 12, Kyle Schwarber. Hitting third and playing third base, number 17, Chris Bryant. Batting cleanup, first baseman, number 44, Anthony Rizzo. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 13, Starlin Castro. Hitting sixth, number 68, right fielder, Jorge Soler. Catching and hitting seventh for the Cubs, number 47, Miguel Montero. Batting eighth and warming in the left field bullpen, right-hander, number 28, Kyle Hendricks. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 9, Javier Baez. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing as this evening's colors are presented by the Marine Recruiting Station, Chicago. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join Wayne Messmer as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
A tremendous rendition of the national anthem by Wayne Messmer as we welcome you back to our studio here, MLB on TBS coverage, getting you ready for first pitch. Guys, what do you see playing out tonight, Pedro? I'll start with you here in Game 3.
Well, I'm expecting the Chicago Cubs to come out with some energy. Today is the anniversary of us turning it around, so I hope they turn it around today.
Yeah, having home cooking is going to be all they need, and I think they'll pull it out today.
Of course, it comes down to food with this guy. Dusty?
Well, I think, hey, I'll tell you, I think Hendricks will have the game of his life. Somebody on the Cubs are going deep today.
Yes.
Home runs, they get most of their runs, obviously, from the homer. We know that's going to be important. We'll see whether or not Dexter Fowler also, Chef, gets on early. That could be a factor as well.
If he gets on twice, you better believe they're going to win this game.
Are you ready to throw, Pete?
Hey, I think you better watch Montero today.
Yeah. They all need to click if they want to win. So I'm watching every one of them. If they don't get to this and this, they're in trouble.
You expect a ding-dong Johnson or two?
That's a lot to overcome.
I think more than that, maybe 3 or 4.
You only left one out. What about that one?
Yeah. What about the other pitch?
And one more.
Yeah. They got Ponton.
They have to get to this one.
How about this crowd right now? The atmosphere in here.
This is the atmosphere that you love right here. Yeah. We're in the crazy section.
This is, for anyone who has not been here, this is one of the more special places you can come in all of sports.
And they have an organ.
A sight to be here for all of that.
When
MLB on TBS, Game 3.
Organ.
The coverage is coming up next. Enjoy the game. We'll see you after.
Hey.
Chrysler continues to break new ground in fuel efficiency, quality, and innovation, which is impressive. But doing it for 90 years is a reason to celebrate. And there's even more to celebrate with 0% APR for 72 months at the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration event. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus up to $1,500 total bonus cash on 2015 Chrysler vehicles.
Brisket is a cut of beef that's been smoked for at least 13 hours. Bacon is a present pigs give you when you're good. Flatbread is a shape of bread.
Arby's, we have the meats. Exxon and Mobil give you energy for all life's journeys, because where we go is who we are. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
When stories come alive.
They called him into this world.
Sherlock Holmes, I love you. They'll need every trick in the book.
Divide and conquer.
To save the world.
If you want to live, follow me. Can't help but notice you're not following.
These people are librarians just as much as you are.
The Librarians, season premiere November 1st at 8.
Use your words.
It is definitely October weather for October baseball. Hit to right, leaping, he made that catch. Hit pretty well. Coughlin, he makes the catch. That's in the air to right. That ball is gone. Murphy has struck again. The Mets are 2 wins away from the World Series. Tonight we are in Chicago. And we are at the second oldest ballpark in the big leagues, famed Wrigley Field, where tonight the Cubs host an NLCS game for the first time in a dozen years. The 2015 National League Championship Series coverage on TBS is presented by Exxon and Mobil. It's Game 3 in a best-of-7, which the Mets have a 2-0 lead over the Chicago Cubs. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wrigley Field. I'm Ernie Johnson. This is Ron Darling, and this is the Iron Man, Cal Ripken. So the Mets lead the series, and here's why. Their starting pitching has been better. Daniel Murphy having an out-of-body postseason at this point, and there's a Chicago native who hits leadoff for New York.
Yeah, Curtis Granderson has done it all in this postseason. He's driven in big runs. Well, maybe not all. He hasn't hit a home run yet. But he's also stolen bases. Here he steals second. And then decides that's not enough, so let me just go ahead and steal third right here. He's scored runs, and he also flashes the leather right here, pulling a home run back from Chris Coughlin. One thing I really like about Curtis in the postseason is during the season, he struck out 1 out of every 4 times. In the postseason, 1 out of 24. He's seeing a lot of pitches deep in the counts, which really helps the Mets offense.
You know, Ronnie, I guess the easiest way I can put this for Chicago, the Cubs have to win. How do they do it?
Home runs. They've got to hit home runs. You're talking about a team at this ballpark. Joe Madden said they've got to get a lead. How do they get a lead? Well, this Cubs faithful this year has fallen in love with this team. Why? Because they're young and because they're sluggers. They hit the ball out of the ballpark. If they do that and start doing that, they'll be able to get back in this series. Think about it this way. The last 33 games that they have played at Wrigley Field, they have won 25 of them. They need that to continue tonight.
Kyle Hendricks gets the ball for Chicago tonight. He beat the Mets back in June. Meantime, the Mets send Jacob deGrom to the mound. He's 2-0 this postseason, but this year 0-2 against the Cubs. You guys have waited long enough. You ready? Let's play ball. First pitch coming up next.
Luxury is being pulled in a new direction, drawn to an idea whose time has come. Built with a revolutionary carbon core that is lighter, leaner, stronger. Because the best way to predict the future is to create it. Introducing the most innovative vehicle in its class, the all-new BMW 7 Series. Driving luxury.
Black beef and bacon.
So Tex.
Fire roasted peppers and onions.
It's Mex. Let's settle this.
Tex!
Should we tell him it's both? Eventually.
Introducing the Tex-Mex Bacon Thick Burger. Only at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
They say eventually, every job will be done by robots. Should that day come, we're not overly worried. We can always find something else to do with our hands. Jack Daniels. The woods is the way it is.
We're family. We'd do anything for each other. But this time, those bonds were definitely tested.
Frog leg for my baby brother.
Don't frogs have, like, 2 legs? So they should have 2 of these? Since I'm active duty and she's family, I was able to set my sister up with a sweet membership from Navy Federal.
If you hold it closer, it looks bigger.
Tonight's bet presented by Exxon and Mobil. Curtis Granderson in the leadoff spot again for the Mets, followed by David Wright. Daniel Murphy has homered in 4 straight postseason games. Yoenis Cespedes in the cleanup spot, then Lucas Duda. Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate. Michael Conforto gets the start in left field. Wilmer Flores at short, and Jacob deGrom does the pitching for the Mets.
Well, very simply, when you watch Kyle Hendricks pitch, he's not a guy that's going to overpower you. When you watch him, if he's around the knees and he's getting the ball in on the left-handed hitters, he'll have great success tonight.
Yeah, setting the defense behind Kyle Hendricks tonight. There he is on top of the hill, throwing to Miguel Montero behind the plate. Moving around the infield, you got Chris Bryant at third, Javier Baez at short, Castro and Rizzo on the other side of the infield. Moving to the outfield, Dexter Fowler is patrolling center. Schwarber and Soler are next to him.
Good look at Curtis Granderson. You heard Cal talk about him as we came on the air. 2 for 6 in this series, and for the postseason, .375. He's 9 for 24. He's knocked in 7 runs, played great defense, stole a couple of bags the other night, and he has been the catalyst for this Mets attack.
Well, he has been all season long. He has increased his on-base percentage. He had 91 walks during the regular season. Still strikes out a lot, like you were talking about in the open, Cal, but has really been the glue to this lineup all season long.
Chicago native, still lives here, works out here in the offseason. And he steps in to lead it off here in Game 3. And the Cubs put the shift on Granderson with the 3 infielders on the right side. Kyle Hendricks into the wind, and there's a strike. Ted Barrett calling the balls and strikes tonight. On the ground and past Baez into left field. Granderson a wide turn and then returns to first.
That was really interesting. Baez made a statement by walking in to take away the bunt. Curtis answers that by slapping it right past him.
Well, he tried to play that off to the side, and it cost him. Took a little funny hop, Cal. But you're right, because he was so close to Granderson, it got on him too quick.
He's used to reacting much longer in a reaction time at shortstop, where he can see it, see the hop. Right then, he was in an area that he's not in very often.
E6 to start off the night. And here's David Wright.
Well, I was going to say, Hendricks is a ground ball pitcher. He's got to have his defense impeccable for him to have success.
Hendricks was 8-7, ERA of .395, 32 starts this year. And there's a strike. No balls, 2 strikes to David Wright.
And Hendricks is the kind of pitcher you can hit and run with. Not in an 0-2 count. But a sinker ball, power guy, you can throw the ball by you. A sinker guy, you're going to hit it on the ground anyway. Might as well get the runners running.
There's a number that lets you know that he gives up a lot of ground balls.
There goes Granderson. Throw by Montero. He got him.
I thought he got a good jump. He takes a peek in there, and it looks like he's going to sneak in there.
But watch the foot of the infielder. He never gets to the bag.
And there's the reason it's hard going in head first. Everybody wants to, but you can't get your hand in there through the foot that's in front of the base.
Line by right into left field. First hit of the night for the Mets. Let's go down to the field. Matt Weiner. Matt.
Hey, AJ, Kyle Hendricks is not going to light up the radar gun like some of his Mets counterparts in this start, but he's been effective in his first full season in the majors in large part because of his command and what's inside his cranium. No surprise, a guy who pitched collegiately at Dartmouth is one of the most cerebral players pitching coach Chris Bosio has ever worked with. Hendricks pores over every bit of data he can get his hands on before a start, looking for tendencies of both hitters and even umpires, and seeking the best way to use an arsenal that includes 3 different types of changeups. Joe Maddon said he sometimes wishes Hendricks knew a little less. In fact, he wants him to get out of his head. The number 1 on his to-do list tonight is something that you don't need an Ivy League education to understand. Keep the ball down. Remember, he gave up 3 homers against the Cardinals in Game 2 of the NLDS.
Facing a guy who's hit 5 in the postseason in Daniel Murphy, and that's out of play. Murphy has homered in 4 straight games, and he's been hitting them off some of the best in baseball. The 0-2. Steer right 3 called, 2 down.
Joe Maddon told us before the game, if Hendricks is going to have a lot of success, he's got to get that ball in on the lefties. That's the one he throws right at the hip. It's a 2-seamer, and it'll come back over the plate. Murphy caught watching.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Yoenis Cespedes. Cubs starters in the postseason been touched up in the first inning, giving up 8 runs, including 4 home runs. Hendricks trying to get out of the first unscathed. Cespedes continues to wait, and then Ted Barrett calls time.
You know, David Wright is not a big stolen base threat, but he did go earlier in the series, and he got a successful stolen base, so you got to pay attention to him. He can get a jump over there.
Personally, I would run less at this ballpark tonight. The wind is blowing out. You don't want to run yourself out of any innings.
Hendricks, the Game 2 starter in the DS against the St. Louis Cardinals, no decision, but did lay down a big safety squeeze that scored a run.
And to add to your point, Ronnie, you got Cespedes at the plate right now.
Yeah.
Stay close to first base. Let him have a swing at it. Let him have 3 swings at it if he needs it.
Chevrolet pitch tracks with the arsenal for Kyle Hendricks. Cespedes waiting.
In that percentage of pitches, I didn't see 3 different types of changeups. A lot of fastballs because it's a sinker, and you're going to establish the sinker, but you're going to keep him off of that sinker by throwing the changeup.
Cespedes just 1 out of 8. There goes David Wright. There goes a ball into the gap in left center field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. David Wright around third. He will score easily, and the Mets are on the board first.
I can't say this was your classic hit and run, but it has the same sort of results. Wright takes off, and he drives this ball into left center field. Good base running where Wright sees it, recognizes in the gap, and does not hesitate, scoring all the way from first.
Well, we talk about those first inning runs, and you talk about the importance of jumping out in this series and grabbing a lead, and the Mets have done it again. Here's Lucas Duda. Just 2 for 21 in this postseason. He's struck out 13 times. Cespedes edges away from second, and that misses.
He faced a lot of strikeout pitchers too. If you want to think about the quality of starters that he's faced during that time.
How big was that caught stealing on him? Curtis Granderson now. He reached on an error by Baez to start the game, thrown out trying to steal. David Wright with a single, and he came around to score on the double by Cespedes. Due to way out in front of that one. 2-2.
Well, that's what you'll see from Hendricks. Anytime he's in a hitter's count, he will change speeds, go a little softer.
In the air to left, over there by the line. Schwarber on the run, and he makes the catch. Had some folks holding their breath here. A lot of times that ball will drift back in, and it did there, but Schwarber made the play. But the Mets get on the board.
This is the quest.
Winning an NBA championship
takes a lot of commitment. You have to be prepared every single night to battle.
Stop and know what, I don't know, but I've been told them. Obstacle it, blocks your road, knock it over. Time to go for that pot of gold, 'cause they say kings never die.
The NBA on TNT.
We're a marketing research company, so I need to collect your phone so you can't post pictures. Okay, how does it feel to not be connected?
My chest hurts.
Well, let me give your phones back. Let me show you a better way to keep connected. The 2016 Chevy Cruze offers built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi that connects up to 7 devices.
So this thing puts out its own signal?
Yes.
This is next level, Chevy.
Last 4 digits, 4098. 8.
You should use Grubhub instead. Just order your food online and I'll never get your credit card information wrong.
Thanks.
You have a lovely home.
Get the food you want from the restaurants you love. Grubhub, delivering your favorites.
Looking for a real breakfast burrito? Don't look for it at a burger place. Get everything you love about breakfast scrambled, chopped, and dropped into a warm flour tortilla. Stick with the burrito experts, Taco Bell's Grande Scrambler.
Exxon and Mobil give you energy for all life's journeys, because where we go is who we are. Exxon and Mobil, energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that playing cards with Kenny Rogers gets old pretty fast?
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. What? You get it?
I get the gist, yeah.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Back here at Wrigley, tonight's batting order presented by Exxon and Mobil. Dexter Fowler leads it off, then Kyle Schwarber and Chris Bryant. Anthony Rizzo is the cleanup hitter, then Starlin Castro, Jorge Soler, Miguel Montero, Kyle Hendricks, the pitcher in the 8-hole. Joe Madden likes to do that from time to time, and Javier Baez, the shortstop. Bats ninth. Jacob deGrom throws a strike to Fowler, 0-1.
Well, deGrom has been so excellent in the post so far. 20 strikeouts in only 13 innings pitched with a couple of runs given up.
I like that from Jacob. Showing his changeup right away. Trying to establish that as a pitch, just like you're trying to establish your fastball.
Two balls and a strike. DeGrom with the bookend victories on that National League Division Series triumph over the Dodgers, winning games 1 and 5. On the road. Missed again, 3-1.
Only against Kershaw and Greinke.
Fouled out of play and a full count to the Cubs leadoff hitter. Fowler 296, a couple of home runs, 3 runs batted in this postseason. Stays alive. This is a Chicago team that won the last 8 games of the regular season. Went to Pittsburgh, won the wild card game. Lost game 1 to the Cardinals, then won 3 in a row. So they had won 12 out of 13 coming into this series, with the Mets holding serve in the first 2. Steve Rake 3 called to Fowler. Quick word with Ted Barrett. A nod of the head and back to the dugout.
Yeah, this is a big pitch to get if you're DeGrom. Not so good if you're Dexter. It looks borderline down. And I'd say that probably is a little down to start off the game. Right down the middle of the plate, but still a little low.
The last time these fans here at Wrigley saw Kyle Schwarber in front of them, he hit a titanic home run onto the top of that new video board scoreboard out there in right field. And that is a poke, boys and girls. 0-2.
Well, this is what they've been doing. Here's the board you're talking about, Ernie. That's what they've been doing to Schwarber. Almost all breaking pitches. Curveball to start, change up second pitch.
When you get him in a defensive position, 2 strikes, then you can start to elevate the fastball. But you got to be still careful with that fastball down the strike zone because he's quick enough. And we saw that against Harvey, where he shoots a ball straight back up the middle.
Oh-2, wouldn't chase. A ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Flores was the one that caught that ball that went through the box to Harvey, so up the middle.
I like how he's pitching, though, to start the game. Before, in the other 2 starts, it seemed like he didn't introduce his changeup to the second time around or the second or third inning. You've seen a fastball, curveball, and a bunch of changeups here early.
Second straight hitter has run it full. Chris Bryant, probably the National League Rookie of the Year, waiting on deck.
It wouldn't surprise me if this is a changeup too. Throw with a fastball.
That's in the air to left center field. That ball is well hit. Conforto is back. Forget about it. Kyle Schwarber, opposite field. Tie game. With the crowd still roaring, Bryant to right field. Granderson on, makes the play for the second out. Now you talk about all the home run power the Chicago Cubs have, and 9 of their 10 in that St. Louis series coming here at Wrigley.
And Schwarber has definitely proved that he can hit the fastball. And that's why I was thinking he might come back with a changeup on a 3-2 count. That ball was actually off the plate and a little up. Shows you how much power Kyle has to the opposite field.
Watch these Cubs players. They get into the clapping and Rizzo at the plate. This is always a loose bunch. Joe Madden done a tremendous job with a young team, but I tell you what, They have rallied around him and have played great baseball to the tune of 97 regular season wins.
Joe's shaking his head. Just like the last game, he thought some of Syndergaard's pitches were low. He thinks some of the pitches from DeGrom are low in the strike zone or out of the strike zone.
Took something off and he's ahead. A ball and 2 strikes.
And from a hitter's perspective, you can get frustrated and start to expand that strike zone down. If he can, you got to stay disciplined and waiting for the ball that you want to hit. I know it sounds hard. You don't want to get rung up on a pitch. You think it's better if you swing at it.
I mean, he was off on his front foot, kind of just poked it out there 370 feet away.
The 1-2 to Rizzo. Just reached out and slapped it into left, base hit.
A really good start for the Cubs offense. And Rizzo showing you he can cut down and have a 2-strike swing. He's got a little choke up on the bat. Just puts the barrel of the bat to the ball and delivers a single to left field.
Well, the Dodgers had DeGrom on the ropes in his last start. Here's Jason Mott against the Dodgers, but they stranded a lot of base runners.
What a place to watch a baseball game.
Were you clapping just then, Ernie?
You almost have to join in over here. Here's Starlin Castro. What a cut, 0-1.
I'll agree with you on that one. That was a cut. He was thinking home run. Get him a lead.
During the regular season, DeGrom only gave up 16 home runs, but 7 of them came in the first inning. Another one here in the post.
He gave up back-to-back to Bryant and Rizzo in his start here back in May. One of the 2 starts he made and the 2 losses he had against the Chicago Cubs. No balls, 1 strike to Castro. Rizzo with his lead at first.
It's like DeGrom said, I tried mixing in all my pitches. I'm going back to country hardball now.
I think he wished he would have mixed the 3-2 changeup instead of throwing the fastball to Schwarber.
On the ground into left field, base hit. 3rd base hit here in the first, off DeGrom. And they're at first and second for Jorge Soler.
Well, right there, Darno was calling for the ball in. DeGrom missed right down the middle, and that's why it produced this hit. Just missing his spots. Good top spin.
Yeah, he's missed up, he's missed down. Doesn't have his great fastball command yet.
Soler waiting on DeGrom.
Joe Madden was asked today why Soler instead of Coughlin in right field. He said with the wind blowing out, Soler, when he hits it, usually goes out of the ballpark.
He's 5 for 11 in the postseason. He's hit a couple of home runs, knocked in 4 runs, and walked 6 times. Oh, 1 sails outside, count even.
A couple of tight sliders, 1 at 90, 1 at 89 miles an hour. So now we've seen his basic 4. Cubs have done a good job of seeing all of those pitches this early in the ball game.
Trying to execute the game plan of going soft against these young Cubs hitters. Hasn't worked so far.
Well, Soler can definitely turn around a fastball. Schwarber can definitely turn around a fastball.
3-1.
And they've been very patient, too. Fowler got called out on a questionable third strike. Could have been ball 4. But they're looking for their pitch, and they're getting ahead in the count.
27 pitches here in the first inning for Jacob deGrom. There's a strike, so Soler taking a couple of steps, which will not endear you to anyone. Calling balls and strikes.
Darno does a good job of presenting this. Catches the ball up, down on one knee. Wasn't much difference in the pitch before, maybe except with the presentation by Darno.
Runners will be on the move with a 3-2 pitch. deGrom to the plate. On the ground to short. Flores throws across and gets him. But after the Mets scored in the top half, the Cubs had an answer. The Hulk goes deep.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to take their act to the next level. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time. 2% back at the grocery store. And 3% back on gas. Vince of the Flying Branzinos got a Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card. Because he may earn his living jumping through hoops, but he'd rather not earn cash back that way. That's the spectacle of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Here's something to shout from the mountaintop. Cricket's plans start at $35 a month after $5 auto-pay credit, with more 4G LTE coverage nationwide than T-Mobile or Sprint. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
In 3 days, and so it begins. Don't miss.
You are in a trap!
The most explosive movie of the year.
Shall we start?
Vin Diesel is The Last Witch Hunter. Rated PG-13. In theaters Friday.
He missing London?
God, no.
He's trespassing.
It's dangerous for him, the little one.
He's just trying to scare us, that's all.
Fairies, banshees, baby stealers.
So you a believer?
This isn't London. Things here go bumping at night.
Lock the door.
There's something back there!
If you trespass upon them, they'll trespass upon you.
You should never have come here!
The Hallow, now playing exclusively on DirecTV Cinema.
For exciting NBA action all season long, get NBA League Pass.
Oh my goodness!
Catch the live games you want to see on your TV, phone, computer, or tablet.
Look out, he's not human!
It's your courtside season ticket to the drives, dishes, and dunks of the association. Get NBA League Pass for 5 payments of only $39.99. To order NBA League Pass today, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or visit directtv.com/NBA.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. All right, let's go to the top half of the second inning here in Game 3. Travis d'Arnaud leads it off against Kyle Hendricks. He gave up a run in the top half of the first, but his mates got one back with the Schwarber home run. d'Arnaud has homered once in the series, twice in the postseason.
might be the first breaking ball we've seen from Hendricks so far. We had him before at 73% of his pitches are fastballs, but he cuts his fastball. He'll sink it. Many variations off that fastball.
On the ground and into center field for a base hit. Darno just out of the reach of Baez into left center. And the leadoff man aboard here in the second.
Looks like one of those cut fastballs or a little slider. Darno hits it pretty hard. Infield is playing pretty fast right now. That ball got through there.
Here's Michael Conforto. 3 Cubs on the right side of the infield. And that is upstairs, 1-0. Conforto only has 1 hit in this postseason. It came at Dodger Stadium and dented the foul pole in right field.
Almost knocked the foul pole down. That ball was hit. That was the 115 miles an hour, wasn't it?
That was that bullet that got out in a blink.
Man, was that a rocket.
Well, that's interesting that Chris Bosio is the pitching coach coming out to see Hendricks. Wondering if there's an injury issue, but he's not coming out with a trainer.
Well, one of his sinkers was 86.
Hendricks is one of those pitchers that has to be so precise. Can't get behind in the count. And I think maybe that Basio's trying to remind him, because Joe Madden will get up that bullpen as quick as he thinks someone's in trouble.
Basio, a guy who's got a no-hitter to his credit, back with the Mariners in 1993. Thrilled his dad Lou out there in Sacramento. Has his talk with Hendricks. And now a 2-0 to be delivered to Conforto. But first, a throw over.
Called for a fastball in. I'm just wondering if they decided on a throw over. And that was not really the real pitch they're going to throw. Throw over again.
Well, Hendricks has 4 pickoffs this year, so that's not even a good move. He's got a better one.
Conforto's home run in LA, he pulled right down the line, but he's got great power to the opposite field as well.
Darno's trying to get the dirt out of his pants.
Was it a dirt or a belt issue?
Two balls, no strikes.
And that's 85. That's a still sinker. Taking a little off his sinker to get the break a little more.
You're just so used to seeing 95 or plus. It's unusual.
Popped him up over by the Cubs. Dug out and out of play. Conforto could very well be the everyday left fielder next season for the Mets.
Coming back in there again.
And just missed.
Tried that same pitch he used against Daniel Murphy that caught the inside corner. Ted Barrett, home plate umpire, said it was off the corner.
It's got really good comeback action. The left-hand hitter gives up on it, thinking it's inside.
Runner going on the 3-2, and that pitch fouled past first.
Well, DeGrom had a choice on a 3-2 count to throw his changeup to Schwarber. Opted for the fastball that cost him the homer. Here against Conforto, Hendricks went with the changeup, 3-2.
You see the Mets running a lot right now. It's almost like they afforded the opportunity to take chances. With a 2-0 lead, they're going to force the action a little bit, being away.
Darno.
Getting as prone as he could.
Hendricks to the plate. In tight. Ball 4. 2 on. No out.
Again, that same pitch on our pitch tracks. You have it right on the corner. See Darno raise his hands up and take that pitch. Montero brought it back over the inside corner.
Yeah, you can almost tell a little bit Montero's trying to push it back to the inside corner, so he thought it was inside as well.
First walk given up by Hendricks. And here's the 8-hitter, Wilmer Flores. That's high, 1-0.
Yeah, I'm sorry. A lot of high sinkers, Ronnie.
Yep.
That can't be a good sign.
No, if your sinker is described as high, you have missed. 1-0. On the ground to short. Baez will get the force at third. 1 down.
That's a real interesting play right here. Realizes it right away that it might not be a double play ball. Let me charge it and get a force out at third, keep the double play in order, and not letting them get a runner on third with less than 2 out. A really heads-up play by Baez.
Brings up the pitcher, Jacob deGrom. He's not a bad hitter for a pitcher. Like the highlight of his college career with the Stetson Hatters was in the conference tournament down there in the Atlantic Sun against Florida Gulf Coast, and he took Chris Sale deep. Just ask him, he'll tell you. That bunt is foul. Montero jumped out like a cat, threw it down to third, but it was immediately called foul by Ted Barrett.
Yeah, it's definitely foul. It's behind the plate. Barrett has a good angle on it.
Ooh, in tight. 1-1.
Trying to come inside with that fastball. When you're bunting, a lot of times you're draped over that plate, trying to make sure you can get it down, especially when you're trying to bunt it to the third baseman, which deGrom is trying to do.
Squares again and fouls it off. 1-2.
I mean, give me logic. So you move 2 runners up and give a chance to drive in 2 runs here. He's a pretty good hitter. Runs really well to first. I guess we'll find out now with 2 strikes.
I think he'll be swinging here.
deGrom's not the only Mets pitcher who can handle the bat. Mets pitchers knocked in 28 runs, the most in the National League this year. That missed. 2-2. You pitchers always took pride in your hitting, Ronnie.
Well, you know what's good about the Mets ball club is they've got a lot of young pitchers that are very talented, not only in the mound, but good athletes. So it's a competition kind of thing.
deGrom waiting on a 2-2 from Hendricks, and he struck him out. Oh, fouled it. He just did get a piece.
It looked like it bounced up into his glove. There it is, right to the ground, right up in his glove. It happens so quick, it's hard to see. Montero again trying to sell it.
I was buying. The 2-2. Full count.
They're trying to keep going in there with that fastball, not getting the calls from Barrett. I thought that pitch was definitely off the plate in. Here in the second inning, a mound visit from his pitching coach. Now a visit from the catcher Montero. I mean, very rarely do you see a catcher come out, a 3-2 count, to a pitcher at the plate.
There's no first base open. There's no other factors here. It's going to be a sinker. Whether it's going to be in or away, that's the question, I suppose.
To short. There's one. There's two. Hendricks coaches a 6-4-3 out of DeGrom. Cubs get out of the inning.
This season, T-Mobile knocked it out of the park. We doubled our 4G LTE coverage across the country since last year, and the hits keep coming. Our new extended range LTE signal reaches twice as far and is 4 times better in buildings than before. Think you know our LTE coverage? Think again. Share your fan photos and videos with hashtag the Big Seventh for a chance to be on TV during the World Series on Fox.
Chrysler continues to break new ground in fuel efficiency, quality, and innovation, which is impressive. But doing it for 90 years is a reason to celebrate. And there's even more to celebrate with 0% APR for 72 months at the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration event. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus up to $1,500 total bonus cash on 2015 Chrysler vehicles.
You should see this crowd outside. It's like, can't really wait for you to come up with a metaphor, man.
Steve, it's time.
Steve Jobs, rated R.
Black Angus beef and bacon.
So Tex.
Fire roasted peppers and onions.
It's Mex. Let's settle this. Tex!
Should we tell him it's both? Eventually.
Introducing the Tex-Mex Bacon Thick Burger, only at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
Hello, Kent Jennings. I haven't seen you since that TV quiz show.
Hello, Watson. You can see now?
I can recognize people, analyze images, and watch movies.
Well, I wrote a few books. I did a speaking tour.
I've been helping people plan for retirement, and I help doctors identify cancer treatments.
Is that all?
I've recently learned Japanese.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
I haven't learned sarcasm yet.
I can help with that.
Hey man, let's play ball.
Oh, he pops it in at center field. Could be trouble.
Hey, Walker, go, 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 go,
However you play ball, play ball. Go to playball.org to find out more.
Yeah, they're watching from the Wrigleyville rooftops across the street. You know, we have a guy on our crew who's actually named Andre Dawson. No relation to the Hawk. But he was telling me today he was so pumped because it is Chevy Truck Month. Time to make a strong decision like choosing a Chevy Silverado. Chevrolet proud to be the official vehicle of Major League Baseball. Miguel Montero leading it off in the bottom half of the second in a tie game. That is tapped foul up toward first. Brandon Hyde, the first base coach, will flip that to a lucky fan who will never forget it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Cubs catcher. Does 2 for 17 in the postseason. That's way upstairs. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We know DeGrom likes to get a lot of strikeouts up in the zone, but if you go too far up, they're able to lay off it.
He's thrown a number of changeups, but hadn't found the feel for it yet. Hadn't got the action. It's either up and away or way down too low.
In the air, shallow right. Randerson is called off by Cespedes for out number 1. Hey, Sam Ryan, what's happening down there?
Hey, Ernie, well, you talked about Jacob deGrom's 2 division series starts against the Dodgers. In game 1 of that series, he was dominant, 13 strikeouts. In game 5 of that series, he really had a battle. He had to work hard for those outs most of the game. And that's something he told me he probably wouldn't have been able to do back in April. He really learned how to pitch this season, late in the season, when he didn't have his best stuff. Also, keep an eye on the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. He's told me when he's not locating that d'Arnaud will really set up in the center of the plate rather than on the corners, and sometimes his wildness will lead him to the corners. So keep an eye on that, guys.
Here's the pitcher, Kyle Hendricks. Thanks, Sam. Hendricks batting in the 8 hole. Joe Madden likes to do this from time to time.
Well, he did it all in the beginning of the year because he had Addison Russell, who he wanted to have a hitter behind Addison Russell in the 9 hole so that Addison will be pitched to. Very difficult hitting that 8th hole in the National League. You very rarely get challenged because the pitcher's hitting next. Trying to do the same with Baez tonight.
There is the 2nd strikeout of the night for DeGrom. And that brings Javier Baez to the plate.
Well, Joe, to further that point, he thinks that there's 2 positions where you can develop a young hitter in a National League lineup. 2nd, where you have the protection from the 3rd hitter, and 9th, where then you have the top of the order coming up behind as a protection. After Sam mentioned that, I'm watching where d'Arnaud is setting up, and he's staying, a lot of his body is staying on the plate.
Took something off pretty. 1-1.
When you have good stuff, the catcher can afford to sit more to the middle of the plate. And the movement of his fastball probably won't end up on the middle.
A ball and 2 strikes to the Cubs shortstop. If you're new to the series, Baez getting the start because the everyday shortstop Addison Russell went down in the NLDS against the Cardinals with a hamstring. And DeGrom strikes out the last 2 here in the 2nd. We head to the 3rd. Game 3 is tied.
There are garages, and there are BMW service centers. There are mechanics that use parts, and there are certified technicians that use genuine parts. There are waiting areas, and there are lounges. You can't compare the experience, but you can compare the cost. Competitive prices for genuine parts and service. Receive a BMW brake service starting at $239.99 now through December 31st.
All right, now that we have merged with Cable World, we are so excited to hear your big ideas on how we're going to take on DirecTV. So over to you.
Thank you. Full disclosure, we forgot to come up with ideas.
I mean, we got messed up last night. You're lucky we're even here.
But we did bring breakfast. Bagels? Nope.
Oh, my goodness.
Peel and eat shrimp.
Not how I would have gone, but it's good. It's innovative, and that's what we want here.
Get rid of cable and switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
So here I am in the middle of nowhere with my customer, and I turn around and there's 3 rattlesnakes.
Oh, right at the good part.
Hey, Dave.
I got it.
I got it.
What? We got a meeting at noon.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry, Rob. You're covered.
Okay, sorry. Where was I?
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
You know, Viagra helps guys with erectile dysfunction get and keep an erection. Talk to your doctor about Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
FanDuel has definitely changed my Sundays. It's made it a lot more interesting.
FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues are paying $75 million a week with immediate cash payouts and no commitment.
I've deposited a total of $35 on FanDuel and won over $2 million.
Just choose a league, pick your team, and get your cash winnings after Monday night.
It's like the best adrenaline rush ever.
Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Go to FanDuel.com and enter promo code GRIP1.
It's time to know the difference, presented by Belvedere. We're going to see Daniel Murphy up this inning for the Mets. And what a postseason he's had, Ronnie.
It's just unbelievable. He's hit some nasty pitches. That was a pretty good pitch from Arrieta that he kind of golfed just inside the line.
Curtis Granderson leading off as we move to the third. Reached on an error his first time and was thrown out trying to steal. You see that shift, and it's the Lone Ranger over there on the left side, Baez, who made the boot in the first.
With a couple of fake bunt attempts and an attempt actually to bunt, has brought Baez into the grass with less than 2 strikes.
Drilled foul by Granderson. Stays 1-2.
So pulling that 2-strike pitch foul, the 86 inside, definitely make him susceptible to changeup. They're going fastball away.
The steely stare of Joe Madden as the count moves to 2-2, and then Granderson goes down swinging for out number 1 here in the third.
We see the changeup grip. So Hendricks is starting to establish his changeup. He did it right in that at bat against Granderson.
Well, the way Granderson pulled that sinker foul that far out in front of it, you got to say he's not waiting, he's not seeing it. That's reading the pitch. They tried to get a called strike on a fastball away, but then went back to the changeup, and he was clearly out in front of it.
Here's David Wright. Singled his first time and scored the New York run. Oh, look at that, right off the thumbs and almost into the dugout. There's that Chevrolet pitch tracks arsenal.
That's the opposite reaction. You got to go back in there again. See if they do now. Set up pitch going back in. One of the changeup.
Third strikeout of the night for Kyle Hendricks.
Well, the one thing that Hendricks can do that you don't see many right-handed pitchers do, when he throws that changeup to right-handed hitters, he'll cut it a little bit. So the ball is moving away from right, not back into him. Very unusual.
So that's the 3 different type of changeups we were talking about earlier. By having different pressure on different points, you can make it either go away from a lefty or away from a righty.
Here's Murphy, who took a called third strike his first time.
I love that. No further. He said that wasn't a strike, or that's on the bottom of the strike zone, no further.
Where do you pitch him? Can't right now.
Outside the strike zone.
It's just one of those, it's one of those times where he's filling every zone. And this ball is drilled to right center field. It is deep. Man alive, Daniel Murphy has homered for the 5th straight postseason game.
Unbelievable. Must have threw that one in the strike zone.
Even if you're a teammate of a guy this hot, you start to shake your head. It's that sinking fastball away, but it was up. And Murphy's not missing any pitches right now.
He said the other day, well, I'm just seeing the ball really well right now. And that's traveled from New York here to Chicago. 6 home runs, 9 runs batted in this postseason.
Murphy can get on streaks where he's red hot, but they're base hits. They're never home runs. 14 this year was his career high.
Here is Cespedes.
Well, I wouldn't try to figure it out if I was him. Just let it roll.
Cespedes launches to straightaway center field. Fowler is back on the track, leaping, and he makes the catch. Cespedes hit it a ton. Not quite enough. Fowler into the ivy, but it's a 2-1 game.
Who's ready to have a baby? Buster Posey.
You're not my doctor.
Come on, I'm sort of your doctor. I mean, we both wear gloves, and we always deliver in the clutch. Gloves? Clutch.
No, I'm sorry.
Perhaps we take a vote?
No.
Okay, guys, are we gonna do this or not?
Let him try. No.
Sorta you isn't you.
Honey, you're embarrassing me in front of Buster Posey.
Esurance helps make sure you only pay for what's right for you, not someone sorta like you. Esurance, official sponsor of Major League Baseball.
To introduce the new Infiniti QX50. We could have shown it on a winding mountain pass, or somewhere even more cliche, like a downtown street. But what distinguishes the Infiniti QX50 isn't where you can take it, it's how you feel taking it there. With generous cargo space, extended second row legroom, and coupe-like handling, the new QX50 from Infiniti. Lease the new Infiniti QX50 for $329 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Degrees, 40 below, and protection for 15,000 miles. Mobil 1, energy lives here.
Looking for a real breakfast burrito? Don't look for it at a burger place. Get everything you love about breakfast scrambled, chopped, and dropped into a warm flour tortilla. Stick with the burrito experts, Taco Bell's Grande Scrambler.
When you booked this trip, you didn't know we had over 11,000 local activities listed on our app, or that you could book them right from your phone. A few weeks ago, you still didn't know if you were going to go. Now the only thing you don't know is why it took you so long to come here. Expedia, technology that connects you to the people and places that matter.
Tomorrow in the ALCS, Royals will try to put away the Blue Jays on FS1 after that 14-2 win today. And we've got the 4th game in this series tomorrow night on TBS. Game 5, if you need it, on TBS on Thursday. Top of the Cubs order here in the third, and Dexter Fowler. Ball and a strike. Well, the Cubs answered last time the Mets scored, and they'll see if they can do that again here in the third. After the Daniel Murphy home run in his 5th straight game, tying the mark held by Carlos Beltran of the Astros in 2004, homering in 5 straight postseason games. Popped him up, David Wright. 1 down.
Well, like Murphy needs any more incentive against right-handed pitching here at Wrigley Field. He's 24 for 48 with 5 home runs. Loves hitting here at Wrigley Field.
DeGrom has suddenly found his changeup.
Well, here's Kyle Schwarber, who put one in the seats in the opposite field his first time.
Well, he should take the fastball out of his mind right now, because I don't think he's going to get one to hit. So he should either pick the changeup or the breaking ball. And this 2-0 count, more than likely a changeup. Here it comes.
Off the corner for a strike. 2-1. Schwarber with 16 home runs in his 69 regular season games. 5 now in the postseason. And that stayed downstairs. 3-1.
No way he's challenging him with a fastball, is he? He is.
Count full, 3-2.
Kyle didn't believe he was going to.
Chris Bryant waiting on deck. 3-2 from DeGrom. Stays low. Ball 4. A runner on with 1 out.
It's strange. It's almost like you're going against your pitching DNA. DeGrom is a very aggressive pitcher. Loves to throw his fastball, and it's almost like they've taken it away against Schwarber.
Well, Schwarber's taking it away from him.
There you go. Schwarber has.
He looks at the other guys, Harvey and Syndergaard, throwing pitches to him, and he says, okay, he can get to my fastball.
Here's Bryant. He set the Cubs rookie record with 26 home runs this year. 21 of them came here at Wrigley.
Yeah, that's a tough call for the home plate umpire to call that check swing. Ted saw some movement and called the swing.
Umpires tonight: Ted Barrett behind the plate, Paul Emmel at first, Eric Cooper at second, Bill Miller at third, and down the lines, Mark Wegner and Tim Timmons. Mark Wegner just appearing on the scene and switching places with Rob Drake, who's the replay official, being assisted by Mike Estabrook tonight in New York. And Bryant goes down swinging for out number 2. 4th strikeout for DeGrom.
Suddenly that changeup has become the strikeout pitch.
Well, DeGrom misses the spot with the changeup, but still, the speed differential gets him out in front.
Rizzo with a good at bat his first time around, really battled DeGrom, and then eventually took a pitch low and away into left field for a base hit. This is on the ground, and Flores on the run, throws it out. 3 innings in the books at Wrigley Field in Game 3 of the NLCS, and the Mets lead it by 1.
Bob Dylan To improve my language skills, I've read all your lyrics.
You've read all of my lyrics.
I can read 800 million pages per second.
That's fast.
My analysis shows your major themes are that time passes and love fades.
That sounds about right.
I have never known love.
Maybe we should write a song together.
I can sing.
You can sing?
Do-be-bop, be-bop-a-doo. Dooby-dooby-doo. Do, dooby-doo.
The cool of the day, the scent of the trees, and the sounds from all sides of an orchestra performing entirely for you. The Jeep Grand Cherokee, with active noise cancellation to turn any street into a symphony. The most awarded, rewarding SUV ever.
This season, T-Mobile knocked it out of the park. We doubled our 4G LTE coverage across the country since last year, and the hits keep coming. Our new extended range LTE signal reaches twice as far and is 4 times better in buildings than before. Think you know our LTE coverage? Think again. Share your fan photos and videos with hashtag the Big Seventh for a chance to be on TV during the World Series on Fox.
A Belvedere martini.
Of course.
Shaken, not stirred. Excellent choice, Mr. Bond.
Jurassic World. Get a free t-shirt when you buy Jurassic World on Blu-ray. Only at Best Buy now.
Hey, you know what time it is? Postseason time. That means time to get your favorite team's gear at MLB.com shop. Official jerseys, hats, t-shirts, we got them. Get your piece of the postseason right here at MLB.com shop and get shopping.
Official caps, hoodies, jackets, and more. Celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop. Move to the 4th inning here at Wrigley Field. Not a whole lot of jackets, maybe a couple of hoodies and a few hats around here, but very, very nice conditions for Game 3. About 72 degrees at first pitch. October in Chicago. Lucas Duda flied out to left his first time. Comes up empty there, a ball and a strike.
They're not throwing him many fastballs either, Duda.
I thought he took some good swings in the previous game. And this is a different challenge from Hendricks.
Three balls and a strike as Duda leads it off here in the 4th. Travis d'Arnaud, the Mets catcher, waiting on deck. Lined into the shift and off the glove of Bryant. And so Duda is aboard with just his 3rd hit of this postseason. Moments ago, Matt Weiner with Cubs manager Joe Madden.
Joe, I love everything from Kyle Hendricks so far, including a visit from pitching coach Chris Bosio in the 2nd. What's your assessment here?
At that point, I just thought he was getting a little bit off kilter. He settled back down and threw the ball better after that. I thought his delivery was getting a little bit out of whack, so Bos went out there and straightened that out. Otherwise, not bad. I mean, that pitch right there, he got it up to Murphy. It's another home run. The guy's kind of unbelievable right now, but overall, I think he's throwing the ball pretty well.
Kyle Schwarber told me before the game he had to get out of the habit of chasing pitches out of the strike zone. He worked a 3-2 count before the home run and then a walk. How happy are you with the adjustment?
And then he chased the pitch out of the strike zone, hit a home run. That was about a foot outside. I was really surprised he's able to get to that. But I like the walk in the last at bat. He didn't chase the ball down.
Thanks, Joe.
My pleasure, buddy. Thanks.
Thanks to Matt and to Joe. And Hendricks Dealing outside, a ball and a strike. He's given up 5 hits, 2 runs, has struck out 3. And Duda is the runner at first with nobody out. Clayton Richard is up in the Chicago bullpen.
Joe Madden was asked, do you feel bad at times getting the bullpen up so early? Does it affect your starting pitcher? He goes, I hope it affects him. I hope it affects him in a way that it'll be positive, and he'll go out there and say, hey, I got to start getting some outs.
Strikeout number 4. Hendrick must have taken a quick look out there at the bullpen. Went to work on d'Arnaud.
Well, Joe Madden has said that he just does in the postseason, his tolerance level for starting pitchers goes way down. If they're not getting the job done, then he will go to that bullpen, unless it's Lester or Arrieta.
There is a sense of urgency in the playoffs.
Yes. Came on today. You asked me, Ernie. Cubs have to win today.
One team coming back from 3-0 in Major League Baseball. Boston Red Sox, and well, you fall down 3-0 against this bunch in their arms. That is a bleak outlook. Here's Conforto.
Michael made up his mind he was going to hit that sinker on the first pitch. Got fooled by the changeup in the dirt.
Line drive, throwback, late. Castro gloved it, threw to Rizzo, and Castro took a couple of steps like end of inning, but the throw just late.
That was a good read. I think he got back in time. We're going to see it in slow motion here. I couldn't tell from that angle, but was their foot blocking the base as well?
Madden and his staff are still trying to decide in the dugout. Montero's in front of the plate. Yes or no?
It looks like he might have beat it back, but is Rizzo's foot blocking Duda's hand? He got it in there.
To challenge or not to challenge, and they will not.
You got to remind yourself as the runner is that they had 3 guys on that side of the infield. Look at where the infielders are. So when you read the line drive, you got a pretty good idea if it's at someone.
Two down as Flores takes a strike. Flores reached on a fielder's choice his first time, wiped out in a double play. Hit into by DeGrom.
For a team that didn't steal a whole lot of bases during the regular season, they're getting a lot of throwovers today.
Into right field. Soler had him played perfectly. And that'll do it for the Mets in the 4th. We head to the bottom half in a 1-run game.
If you're the band Europe, you love a final countdown. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.